is finally time for us to do the July TBR. Now, July I'm very excited about because it is the anniversary to my novel, The Ruined Royals, which is my debut YA fantasy mystery novel that came out last July, which July 31st. There's gonna be an entire anniversary video on that that we're gonna be making on July 31st, that will come out on July 31st. So if you want to be part of that, go to my Instagram, follow me, buy a copy of the book, and then send in a video or picture of you holding it and you'll be included in the video. But I'm just really excited because July is going to be a very big month from now on for me due to the anniversary of this book. But with all things aside, we have my TBR for July, which I will say is quite large, as you can see, and then we also have some really thick books as well, so that's kind of like the cherry on top of the cake, or ice cream, or whatever you prefer to eat. The first book on my TBR is The Faraway End by Sarah Beth Durst. If you guys go back, I actually have a vlog where I went to Barnes & Noble when I got this book, and the whole reason I got this was literally because of the cover. People always say don't judge a book by the cover, but it's just too gorgeous to pass up. I mean, you wouldn't want this cover in your house, okay? And it's also supposed to be a very relaxed fantasy, I think, and also a romance. I don't know, I'm very curious, but I also like going into books blind, so I don't want to know about it until I read about it. Unless you guys have some reviews or something you want to say in the comments, I won't be opposed to hearing your reviews or your thoughts on this book, or any book by that matter, in this pile, because I do like to hear what other people, especially people who think they have similar reading tastes to me, think about books that I'm thinking of reading, because sometimes it really saves me the trouble. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I actually started reading this month, but this book is chunky, and I kind of got sidetracked with the rest of my TBR and then book club picks. This book I'm pretty sure is like 590 something pages. It's not the worst thing that I've heard in the world, but it is, although it looks like a normal size, it is a chunker of a book. The pages are just thin. I'm trying to get back into classic literature because I did read Little Women and I love Little Women, and then I also read A Christmas Carol, but I did not like A Christmas Carol, so I'm trying to kind of slowly smooth my way into classic literature because I want to expand into more genres, and I'm even trying to expand into nonfiction. Pray for me, y'all. I'm trying to expand into just a little bit of everything because I want to have more of a diverse catalog of books to read and to gain more knowledge, because the thing about it is a lot of people are like, oh, you don't really gain a lot of stuff from nonfiction books, but you learn a lot of life lessons and you learn more about social cues and emotions and how to deal with those emotions through nonfiction books. But then when you also, not nonfiction but fiction, but when you read nonfiction books, you get all of that as well, but you also learn a lot of more practical lessons or more mental health lessons. So you can get both of those in fiction and nonfiction books, and that's kind of just why I want to expand my reading taste, because I want to be able to experience all of it, or as much of it as I can, because I know that we're not going to be able to experience everything, but I do want to experience to the maximum. Young Apostles by Anna Miriam Brown. This is like, okay, this is like not a graphic novel, but it's literally like a chapter book, right? But with pictures like every other page. And I'm pretty sure it's just supposed to follow Jesus' life, and then there's 12, so I think there's supposed to be 12 books for the 12 apostles. I don't know what the vision is. That's just my assumption, my guess. But I've been wanting to read this for like a while, so I'm really excited to get into this and see what this contains. I wanted the color version, but the color version was like so expensive, so I was just like, let's just get the non-color version, and then maybe later on we can invest in the color version. Finding Her Edge by Jennifer, I want to say Acapelli. Girl, don't come for me. I'm literally trying my best. I really want to watch the movie, and I've had this book for a while. I don't know where I got it, but I've had this book for a while and I really want to read it. It's on Netflix. I think it's a series, not a movie, but I want to watch the series and I want to read the book. Actually, I have a summer bucket list, and one of the things on that bucket list is to watch the series. But I don't like watching stuff before I read it, so I want to read it first. Also, let's just take a moment for the damage in the back. I don't know how this happened. I literally picked this book up for this video and I saw this and I was like, where did this come from? I take really good care of all my books, y'all. I promise I do. I promise I do. Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. This is actually going to be the second pick for the book club. So join the Veil Book Club first of all, but in the Veil Book Club we read 2 books a month and you guys get to drop your suggestions, drop your votes, and we did 2 polls, and one of the polls I think was we're reading Summer in the City, which is actually my current read by Alex Astor. But you guys recommend, like, you guys literally, I feel like you guys just go through what I'm currently reading, because I was actually, that was on my TBR for all month, and I was currently reading it, and then I was like, okay, what do you guys want to read? And everybody was like, Summer in the City, Summer in the City, Summer in the City. So I was like, okay. So there was a tie between Summer in the City and Funny Story, so I did a poll, which is Summer in the City and Funny Story, but then they were tied again, so I just did a spin the wheel, because if I do this again, we're gonna be here all day. So I did the spin the wheel, and the spin the wheel landed on Summer in the City. So I had kind of a free space for the first half of July, or like I can read this for the first half of July and just like not have to worry about the book club books. But that's what we're reading. We're reading Summer in the City for the first half, and then we're reading The Lost Bookshelf for the second half. So it's really good book club. We have a lot of fun over there, and we're looking for more members, because that means more recommendations, more diversity in books, and you can recommend whatever you want, and we just vote on it. So I cannot wait to see what this is. I originally got this for a book bingo, but I ended up losing the bingo because I had a lot of, like, I didn't have a lot of free time, so reading kind of went on the back burner for me. And I bought this book for the bingo because one of them, there was 2 things that to do with like a bookstore or whatever, and or like a library, and then one with the bookstore. So I like got the Midnight Library for the library prompt. I ended up reading the Midnight Library like after the bingo was over with, but I still enjoyed that book. So I'm hoping it's the same thing with this, where I'm reading it after the bingo, like literally a year after the bingo, but I'm still gonna enjoy the story. So I'm just hoping that's what's going on. You guys voted for it, so you might have heard some good things. This is Silver Elite by Danny Francis. This has been on so many TBRs. I'm gonna just go ahead and start there. The whole reason I got this was because there was this whole thing last year where they were like, oh, this book was like written by an AI. But then an author, Matt Rafferty, was like, I know people at the publication company, and Danny Francis is a real person just behind a pen name. And I think that's the whole reason that she got accused of being an AI author, was because of the pen name, and nobody could find any information on her, which is like the whole point of a pen name. So your identity is anonymous. But I digress, okay? But I still got the book because I was like, okay, well, people, like, there's mixed reviews on the book, aside from all those allegations or whatever. So I was like, okay, I want to get the book and I want to see what I think. But this is a chunker, and I do want to do a reading vlog on this. This has actually been on one of my lists for, I have actually a whole list of videos that I want to make, and every video that you guys have seen me make has been on the list. And I always make a list because I feel like that just keeps me organized. But this has been on my list for videos I want to do, which is a Silver Elite reading vlog, which has been on my list for like 6 months, and I just have not done it. So yeah, this was definitely picked, like this was plucked off the TBR card. Next is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. We literally just finished Catching Fire earlier this month, and I'm not gonna make the same mistake that I made last year. Last year I read The Hunger Games in July, and I didn't read it again until this month. Like, I didn't read Catching Fire until this month, so we're not making that mistake again. We're gonna continue the series until we can finish it, or at least finish what's on my shelf, because I only have the first 4 books and not the new one. I don't know what the new one's called. Catching Fire was phenomenal, and the way it ended, you're playing. I need to figure out what happens next. And as always, all of the Hunger Games books are having their own reading vlog, so there will be a reading vlog on this as well. So with these two, before the reading vlog comes out, read your copy, read your book, because all my reading vlogs, when they're dedicated to certain books, are spoilers. When I do reading challenges, they're not, but these will have their own perspective, spoiler reading vlog. So read your books if you want to be able to watch those, or maybe you've already read them. And then lastly on the TBR, we have Bullet to the Head by Jane Thompson. It was so freaking embarrassing. I did my book tag and it was edited out, but it took me 5 minutes because, okay, with the book tag, I only allowed myself to pick books that I read this year. And I was like, okay, let's, like, one of the prompts was like, indie book you'd recommend. And I was like, okay, this could be easy. But then I looked around on my shelf and I was like, I haven't read many indie books this year. And the ones that I have read were like not my top 10 favorite, or like were literally in December or November. So it feels like they were this year, but they weren't this year, you know? So I was like, let me go ahead and pick up some more indie books. And plus, I've been wanting to read this since it came out. I was actually supposed to be an ARC reader. I was supposed to be an ARC reader for this, but then life got busy and I only got to read like the first 5 chapters. And let me just say, the first 5 chapters were already phenomenal. And I need to figure out what happens next, because Jaden is literally such an artist with her words. I don't know how she does it, but she's so amazing. So with that being said, these are all of the books on my TBR this month. I think that I have a pretty good selection. I'm actually very excited about this because I think that June was a pretty good reading month for me after reading months of not being able to read, or like not being able to read, but more like having no time to read. So I feel like now that it's summer, officially summer, and the anniversary is coming up and I'm hyped about the anniversary, and I also have camp and I also have trips and stuff planned for July, I won't have time to read. I'm just really excited, and I can't wait to see what this month beholds. I mean, not this month, because technically my film is in June. I do not know if it's going to come out by the end of June or by July. Either way, I'm just excited for July. I'm excited for camp, I'm excited for trips, I'm excited for the anniversary, and I'm excited to see if I can like finish this entire TBR. Because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys, I finished basically my entire June TBR except for Jane Eyre. With that being said, follow me on both my Instagrams, and I love you guys so much, but just love you more. Kisses, video, and goodbye.